Hey guys, Surgeon Devil here. It's story time with the devil. Yeah, that sounds kind of stupid. But anyway, last time I told a story, I did a story time thing, was about the time the flood happened and all that bullshit. Well, this time we'll talk about when I was homeless. Second thing. First time, I'll save it for another story time when I actually have a lot of time to tell it, because this is a very long story. So, this one ain't too bad, too long, or anything like that. I was living in an apartment. It was rent control. It goes on on what you make, your income. And I had a pretty decent job. I was working at a call center, making like $7.50 an hour, but I was making pretty good money. And I was able to pay rent, pay my bills, put food on the table, get new clothes, stuff like that. Well, uh, I was helping someone move through my background. I mean, I wrecked my back. I went to two emergency rooms, went to a chiropractor. No one would help me with that because they didn't have insurance. So I ended up being bedridden for like a week. Couldn't get out of bed. I didn't eat nothing. I got a pitcher of water. I was able to muster up enough strength to go get some water, a pitcher of water, bring it to my bed, lay down on my bed, and drink the water as the time progressed. And the person was helped moving. I'm not going to name names or nothing like that, but they went almost a whole week without checking. He knew my back was fucked up. They finally sent their friend over and said, hey, we got you a big food basket and all this and all that. It didn't help nothing. I called 911 because I was losing my fucking mind. I wasn't sleeping. I was in so much pain. I fell 3 times because I had no use of my right leg. I had no support to help me walk or nothing like that. I basically fucked my side turbo. I thought I broke the motherfucker as hard as it popped when I did go back out. Anyway, I went to the hospital, and here at the hospitals they give you cab that you take you wherever you need to go, as long as it's within 45 miles of the hospital. Well, my mom was in a nursing home at the time, and I went there. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. The nurse that was working the night shift knew who I was, let me come in there to see my mom, and let me stay in a vacant room. Now, no one was in this room, no patients were in this room, none of the elderly were. They let me sit in a room and just sit on something comfortable. They, took care of my back, checked my back. I had a knot the size of a grapefruit in my back, and popped, and that fucking hurt, burnt like hell. But after they popped, it never came back. But it hurt. I mean, it was fucking hurt. And they had a spare cane in their storage that no one was using or anything. They let me use it. I used that motherfucker so much that a little rubber stop, I broke it. Thankfully, at the mission, which I'll get to here in a minute, had a cane socket. The cane rubber thing on the bottom. I've used that. And that lasted forever. To this day, I don't think it ever broke through or anything. Well, push comes to shove, I couldn't stay at the nursing home. They let me stay the night to take a shower, get a meal, give me some bus fare, and send me on my way to the bus to the mission. Well, instead of making me ride the bus, one of the lovely people that worked there took me to it. They took me, got me a couple packs of cigarettes, a couple of things to drink, a couple of snack cakes, chips, and stuff to put in my backpack, so I had it. Well, I got to the mission, I signed in. Well, this is the second time, so I knew everybody that worked there, except for like a new guy. He was bullshit. And I knew the director of the men's department, and he goes, "Yeah, man, we'll get you a bed." He goes, "What's up with the cane? You didn't really get a bottom bunk unless you had a medical condition. You had that proof of that medical condition." And he made sure I had a bottom bunk, no matter. It was the same bed every night. He let me sleep. He made sure I got it. Well, you know, when I got there, I was depressed. I was upset because you don't want to be homeless. You don't want to live in a big dorm with a bunch of stinky ass dudes who jack off under their pillows and everything. They're using pillows to sleep on. You don't want to have to deal with that shit at all whatsoever, but it happens. And I met a couple of great guys there. They one guy made sure I got up and walked around every day to work my leg out. It took about 4 months, but I finally worked the motherfucker out where I didn't have to use the cane. It was basically rehabilitation. Uh, there were a couple of times I laid there on the river. No protection. No blankets, no pillows, nothing. I just basically found a rock leaning against and fell asleep. There was a couple people who like to sleep in a tent. Did it every now and then. They'd bring food back or anything. I remember the first time I found a $10 bill. I cried so hard because I could have got me. I got me a pack of cigarettes. I got me a cheap lighter, and the cheapest pack of cigarettes that they had at the time was $2.50. Yeah, they were pretty good, not having a cigarette. The cheapest lighter was 25 cents. They worked perfect better than the big lighter, I guess. And I went to a grocery store. Cheap grocery store. It was like Save-A-Lot, I think it was called. Yeah, that was Save-A-Lot. And I got me a pack of ramen noodles for $2. And I got me some peanut butter and a 6-pack of Sprite and a couple stackings. And it brought out to about $9, like $7. It worked out, I had like 25, 35 something else left over after I got the dollar bill. Well, after all that was said and done, I started staying in the mission. And I was making meal time. And you were lucky if you made meal time. You had 3 meals a day: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And they were at set times. You had to be there. In order to get a plate, you had to be there either when the door opened or 25 minutes for mealtime was over. And there was set time. If you weren't done eating, your ass was done. Then every now and then they had donations like donuts, little candies, bread, cakes, stuff like that. And granted, it wasn't healthy, but it was calories, it was sugars, it was carbs, it was stuff to fill your stomach. And I have a backpack and breads, donuts, candies, peanut butter, whatever I get on hand, basically. So I wouldn't starve if I could make dinner, something like that. Well, you also got a clothing voucher every Tuesday when you got free clothes. You were allowed to get 5 outfits, 2 pairs of shoes, hats. They had anything that they had there that you could use, you could take. And being a big guy, I wasn't as big then as I am now, but being a big guy, it was hard to find clothes. So this sweet lady had a son who was bigger than me and she worked at the mission as a volunteer. And whenever he was going to get rid of his clothes, because they were good clothes, decent clothes, no tears, nothing like that, he just replaced his clothes with the wardrobe. She'd gather all his clothes out, bring them to the mission, clean them, and make sure that I got first pick at the big clothes. I was always first in line because I was on the team. And there was not very many people there who had disabilities. And it was a really hard experience to have to go through, especially at a young age. I wasn't even 21 yet. I was living in the mission, but I've met a lot of great people there. I really did. There's a couple people who were in the mission had vehicles that we would go to a park and have picnics. We would gather up our food stamps for money. Sorry, stop that. And we would try to make the best of a situation that we couldn't help us. And I met a friend and his girlfriend, and they let me move in with them. And then I met the best friend I ever had, and I have some of my best friends. So, with that said, that was my story of being homeless. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share the video. If you want more story times, hit the like button. For now, I'm gonna end this vlog. Love you guys. No matter what, if you're homeless, always make it work. It's hard, but you can do it, man. Well, for now, when this story time, love you guys. Hold on.